remembered to use the Funsie intro. Actually, I didn't. Jamie Lee helped me. How's everyone doing today?
We are doing
Doing swell.
dude,
Yes.
super swell. But you're the man of the hour right now. I feel like all eyes are on you. Literally, I saw you this weekend on coverage and
did.
everywhere else, and Jomez.
Dude, that's really cool.
Where do we start, boys? Where do we start? Do we focus on Josh? Are there things that we should talk about for the event itself that every other podcast hasn't already spoken about?
Dude, you know what
Football.
no one's been talking about? Wait, how'd you hear about that?
Wait, what?
What, dude? I went off on Stagger Stance. So if you want to hear my football opinions, go on Stagger Stance. Because
I thought no one knew about that.
Oh,
Maybe something that's less noticeable is the fact that Presnell was an absolute dog and took a top 10 after everyone just crapped on him, being like, no, that was a fluke. We're on an open course now. He won't be able to do it. And I think 8th. I think that's what he took, 8th. So that's pretty
awesome.
sick. That's super sick.
I agree with that. I was thinking the same thing. Well, I feel like the real story is Isaac winning from a wooded course Champions Cup at WR Jackson and at OTB. So I know Presnell came close, but we actually have a wooded cup winner and an open cup winner.
Isaac apparently only shows up for majors. He doesn't
Which
care
is-
about any of the other events.
Which
And
is so
rightfully
cool.
so.
I mean, that's when I would prefer to show up.
That's what I'm saying. I would rather trade in 10 Elite Series for... No, okay, that's a little too much. 5
Dude,
Elite
if-
Series for one major.
If Kristen also won this weekend, dude, you know Latitude 64 is just like, you know when you see like a fly on the wall and it's just like rubbing its like hands together like, in the
Yes.
front? Dude, they would it's worth it for them at this point. Just to see like, yes, dude, we got it done. We got the champ. He's doing champ things.
Wait, why didn't
so
Kristen win?
Wait, what?
I'm just kidding.
I'm moving on.
The football.
Well, Ben, you kind of are able to bring like a nice perspective to Champions Cup because, spoiler alert, you were at Champions Cup.
Yes.
So do you feel like, at least like in the last month or two, it seems like you kind of found the desire to be doing disc golf content. And it was nice because you didn't have to like focus on anything. It's just all fun whenever you wanted to do it.
Yes.
Now you're kind of working under pressure. It's kind of taking all these things and putting them to the test. So how does it feel to be doing this under pressure now? Do you feel that? Or is it more so just kind of go with the flow? Because I did get to watch the video that you just put out, or Gannon just put out 2 days ago, a day ago, whatever it was. How's that feel?
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were going further with that. Yeah, it's a mixture of both. It's like I realize I have to do good because it's the number one player in the world that, like, you know, has hired me. So I feel the pressure where it's like I got to do a good job and show up and, you know, make these videos as best as I can. But there's also a essence of just like, you know, I've been doing this literally forever, where it's just like, you know, I feel comfortable. And the style of videos we're doing for Gannon isn't that intricate, which makes me feel a little more comfortable. It's literally just like kind of like daily vlog-esque, but it's not really daily vlog. It's daily vlog in the sense where it's just like we're cutting things together. Like today, he did we did a De La Viega, can they shoot 18 under in doubles, Gavin and Gannon. And they didn't talk at all because it was during a tournament, but it's just like a little fun thing to put together just to create content. And, you know, that's really what it's all about right now, is just making videos for Gannon consistently, because that was what he was lacking before. So I guess I do feel some pressure, but other times I don't. I feel the pressure where I like want to do good and you know, be like have people be like, wow, this is awesome, rather than like, what the frick, why do you hire this guy?
Yeah, after like a few videos under your belt now, how are you feeling and how's Gannon feeling? Like, is he happy with it? Is he enjoying it?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how Gannon's feeling about it. I mean, he's doing the videos. I haven't asked him like, so how do you feel? But it's just like, we're just friends. That's what I'm saying. It's like you and Anderson going out and recording. That's how it feels. You guys aren't. There's no expectations. There's no like, oh, I like this has to pop off. We're just enjoying hanging out, recording and stuff like that. So he's definitely enjoying it. But I haven't really talked to him about like I guess maybe in a month I'll get his full opinion on what he thinks so far, because we're still. So, but he has said he's definitely liked the videos. Obviously, some of the things, like the first video I released, President's Cup, I wasn't allowed to bring my Osmo on the course, and I didn't realize that till like literally I was on the course and someone said I couldn't, so I had to switch to my Pixel, which is why the quality was a little bad. But then after that, I got a media pass, so then now I'm using my full-fledged camera. So stuff like that, where it's just kind of like a learning curve and things I'm just gonna slowly start learning. And I've been talking to Dustin, who's Simon's videographer and editor, where he's been kind of helping me. He gave me actually a really cool tip about editing faster that I'm now starting to use in my videos, where it's like so much better, where I would do like 7 different clicks. Now I'm just pressing one button.
Do you want to share that life hack or?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's default on Adobe. So how I used to do it on Adobe Premiere is, this is such nerd talk. Like, if you don't know Adobe Premiere, this is going to make 0 sense to you. I used to do where you would click I and then O to select a clip. Now I'm just dragging everything I've recorded into the editor, and now I'm just pressing Q and W. So now each clip, it just cuts it and moves it right away when I press Q at the beginning, and cuts it and moves it when I press W. This makes no sense, but if you know, you know. So start using your Q's and W's rather than your I's and O's on Adobe Premiere.
That's
okay,
crazy.
I don't quite know what this means, but let me try to translate. Were you having to drag everything after you would cut and like delete parts? Is that what you're saying?
Sort of, yeah. So you do I and
that's
O
insane.
to select a clip, but I wouldn't drag, because there's a shortcut where you can press comma and it just puts it right at the end. So, but I used to just do that. I used to drag completely until I found that shortcut. So I'm still learning, kind of.
Dude,
maybe
no wonder why
I'm
you hated editing.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I was about to say that. That's probably why I hated editing, because it was just like so time consuming. But now I'm kind of just, I'm finding a rhythm. I think, practice makes perfect, as they say, and I'm finding a rhythm, and it's been a lot of fun. Like, I was just editing before I hopped on here, and I got through like 9 holes of Gannon's round. So.
Boom. Do you know how long? Oh, well, you can go, Josh. Go for it.
I was just gonna ask, what does a week in the life look like right now? Like, are you guys trying to pump out 4 videos a week? Is it pretty casual? Like, are you playing disc golf? Like, what are you working a 40-hour week? Like, how's it looking?
I'd say
sounds pretty lax so far.
No, it's 40 hours. I'd say it's probably 40 hours. It's lax in essence, where he's not like, it's lax because we're just like enjoying it, but it's still like they're recording every round and then editing every round after. So, and then for like today, I was out there. So a round normally takes, I don't know, 3 hours on the Pro Tour. And then I have to edit it, stuff like that. So it is definitely a full-time gig. I'm not playing disc golf at all. I got to play yesterday because it was travel day. Obviously, I want to play more disc golf. Like, after this, I'll probably do like 9 holes of De La Viega, because that's really all I have time for. It's definitely a full-time thing, but it's enjoyable. That's why it seems lax, because it's like I enjoy my job. It's like if you went to work and like you didn't feel like work, it's just like you're not gonna have any pressure or feel like anything, because I'm literally just filming the best player in the world and then coming back to edit it. And as for videos, our goal is at least 3: practice round, recap, and something in the middle, like something good, like a tutorial, or we're gonna drop his collection video. But obviously, if we can do 4, we'll do 4. It's just 3 right now is probably like the most realistic goal of getting it out there, just because the round recaps take the whole weekend, and then the practice round will probably take like a day, and then we'll probably have one more time for another day. So and plus travel, so there's kind of like 5, maybe 6 days where you're able to film and edit, and the tournament round takes a lot of those days.
Well, I would imagine like the weekends are insanely busy for you because A, you're out there recording Ganon's round, but then you're also having to edit it and get it out in time for people to see while it's still relevant, right? So you're probably working like long days.
Yeah. Like I'm working long days on the days that I have to get the video out the day of. Like today, the De La Viega video isn't like the most intensive thing because there's not talking, so it's a little easier cutting. But like when I did the President's Cup, that was like a 10-hour day because I was filming the whole entire day. Then I had to edit everything together, and to post it at night. And so it just really depends. Like if it's a video that, like a practice round video that has to get up the day, then yeah, that's going to be a longer day. But the round recaps, all I'm doing is filming and then editing that round, which takes maybe 1 to 2 hours depending on it. So all in all, it's probably like 6 hours per day during his tournament recap-esque type thing.
I mean, what we kind of talked about last time, as you kind of put in reps, you'll learn something each time that you do one of these. What is something that you feel like you learned? Well, I guess you shared what Dustin.
I did.
So maybe that's it, but.
Yeah, I can think of another thing. Another thing I've learned is be prepared, I guess. Nothing crazy has happened, but like today, when fortunately my RV was like 100 feet away, but I forgot my SD card, so I had to go run and go get it. So fortunate, but that was like a good soft lesson that I got to learn, rather than being like in the middle of like a mile away on hole 9 and be like, oh. So that's something that I've definitely started to realize. Like I gotta get the battery right, the SD card, make sure everything's right the night before, so I can just get up and go do it. So that was a soft lesson I learned. Another, I don't know, I'm just kind of learning as I go, just getting better, trying to get better at thumbnails and editing and stuff like that. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can. There's not like one distinct thing other than the thing that Dustin showed me. That was like a game changer. But as of right now, it's kind of just more learning slowly. There's no real like kung pao chicken thing.
Do you have any personal goals? Like it sounds like you have 3 videos. I've watched the President's Cup video. I'll be completely honest. It didn't hold my attention very well. So like, are you working towards like getting better at stuff like that, or is it kind of just like on the back burner right now?
Yeah, better at in what sense? Like getting people's attention.
Like obviously you and Ganon, like Ganon's the focal point of it, and as whatever your title is, like I'd call you creative director if you're doing like thumbnails and filming and stuff. I would say that you're in charge of being like, hey, Ganon, this is what I need for you. You know, like I need you to answer this question or narrate this thing or tell me about this part so I can overlay the B-roll footage and tell the story that I want to tell. Like, are those things you're thinking about yet? Or is that kind of just you're figuring it out now, you know?
No, yeah. So for the President's Cup video, it was just like the standard first video. We already talked about it, how unstructured it was. Like we didn't really have a plan, just because President's Cup is just so tricky in general. It's like there's not much going on. He's just playing around, so it's hard to have him like talk during the rounds. Because that's why probably your attention, because it's just him playing. Because it was like the behind the scenes vlog, and that was cool. And then it was just like 10 minutes of him playing. So we already talked about how like unstructured that was, but that, like I said, that's just like what happens with the first video type thing. But yeah, obviously I'm thinking of shots to do and stuff like that all the time. It's not like I'm like, oh, maybe down the road I'll think about asking him this question. It's something we're doing actively, and it's just basically what we're trying to accomplish is just, just getting like you said, getting Gannon out there by his playing and by his form tips and by his advice. I mean, I think if you watch the Champions Cup round recap, I think I did definitely a better job with it being more interesting, because people care about Gannon's rounds, and it was a recap rather than just Gannon playing at Pres Cup and then that was it. So I think the President's Cup thing was just like a strange situation where it was like, it was my first day there and we didn't really know what was gonna happen, what to record, because it was so unstructured. There's no real plan. But that's because President's Cup is kind of like that in the essence. President's Cup is just kind of like they just show up, make teams and play. There's no real like craziness about President's Cup, and obviously the fans, you guys know that it's not like this like super high esteemed thing where there's like a dinner and a gala and stuff like that. So but yeah, I'm thinking about things to do all the time.
Yeah, I'm kind of going off of what Josh said, like watching the Champions Cup video, and I'm sure you'll figure those things out with time. But yeah, it did feel very. He would like day of explain what was happening that day, and then like show shots, and you did that for basically all 4 of those days, which I think is fine, but I don't feel like it helps someone build whatever that relationship is with like the viewer, where they're like, oh dude, I feel like I'm understanding like the Gannon, like the thing that I'm not getting from coverage.
Yeah, you guys are looking for more like lifestyle vlogs. That's what I'm like kind of gathering. You want like me to like go to breakfast and have Gannon talk before routine and stuff like that. It's just one of those things, like I'm shooting what I got, it's just like,
right.
I was at the course of Champions Cup, and he would show up, and there's only so much I can record of him warming up and throwing shots before.
Yeah.
So it's like that. I don't think that's really our goal ever to do like how Simon's doing it, where it's like lifestyle, like the after and stuff like that. But I do understand what you're saying, where, and like I said, this has already been conversations we've had. He's like, I think we needed to add more kind of like, like you said, in-depth type stuff where and I think he's starting to realize that too. So we're both kind of learning on this journey together what we want to put out, because I do think the Champions Cup video was good, and I think that's what we're focusing more on, his performance. We're not really focusing on his life. It's more so of just like playing, because a lot of the comments were saying I love that I get to see all the shots that Jomez doesn't show, or like that get buried. So that is our main focus. Gannon playing. That is like, but I do agree, and he agrees that there's some more we could add to it, like where it's like, like maybe right before he's like, it's just hard in the tournament. He can't talk to the camera, so it's like. I guess I'll ask you this question. What do I add? Like, what do I add other than his recap? Because the goal is not a daily life vlog. So I'm not like going bowling with him after having him film strikes. It's only round recaps.
I feel like it's tough because like you don't have to necessarily put Gannon's personality in there, because in a sense, you don't exist. Like you're just trying to like you're not trying to make his life more difficult. I think it's just adding personality, whether that's through your editing or maybe there's like some more cinematic B-roll or just like B-roll of random things that you guys are doing, maybe like not even on the course, just like wherever. So like maybe that could be some cool ways, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure which way you want to.
But I'm also
not
not with
it,
Gannon
but-
24/7. I'm just with him during the rounds. It's also why it's like.
Well, right, and that's what's tough because you also have like a time limit, right? So putting time into, I suppose, like some other like personality related things for like that you can accomplish through your edits. Maybe those are difficult, and it's just going to be a matter of testing stuff out, seeing what you like and what is time effective. But I think you're already thinking in the right direction.
Yeah, I have a few opinions as always. So buckle in. So I just scrubbed through part of the Champions Cup video, so I haven't watched the whole thing. But based on it and the President's Cup video, I think something that would vastly improve the videos right off the bat is just a better intro. Like, I think it can be as simple as what Simon does, where it's just like a good clip from the video, like he throws a good shot or something funny happens, or just talk to Gannon and be like, hey, we need an intro for the video, and you script it out or whatever it needs to be, where literally it's just, hey guys, it's Gannon. Welcome back to the video. Today we're going to talk about Champions Cup and why I didn't win, and then boom.
Yeah.
Both videos kind of felt just like
we went right into
you went right into it, but it wasn't like quick enough. I don't know. So I just think an intro would really help. And then secondly, I agree with Sajko. Like, it feels like I've seen Gannon in Alden's vlogs, and so I feel like I kind of know Gannon.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing from these two videos is the professional side of Gannon. And I know you're not going to get, like you said, you're not with him all the time for the more funny stuff. But there's definitely a way, in my opinion, and I'm sure you guys are going to iron this out, but there's a way for you as the videographer to get more personality from Gannon when he's talking about his round, like the bits and bobs that I watched of the Champions Cup video, literally just now, he was just like stone cold dry Gannon, and that just, it feels too, like, it's just too matter of fact. This is the shot I threw. I want that, but I want the other side too,
So I will say we're not trying to be Mr. Beast. We're trying to like highlight Gannon Burr. So I'm not. We're not trying to have like.
Sorry, I didn't realize that I said that you were Mr. Beast. My bad.
No. Like we're not trying. Like I'm not gonna like Gannon's. I'm not like, hey Gannon. We'll be like, what up everyone? This is Champions Cup. Like I'm just recording him how he is. But I understand what you're saying. But I think, once we get those mic'd up practice rounds, I think that's where his personality will be able to shine, because right now I'm just recording shots of him just throwing and not really. So I think that's kind of like where I feel like when we do more of the 1v1 type stuff where he'll be mic'd up and be able to talk. Right now it's just him throwing shots, which I like. I maybe that's just the content I enjoy. I just enjoy Gannon playing. I enjoy watching the behind the scenes of the number one player just throw shots and get behind his mind. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're not trying to be this like clickbait, not clickbait, but like this, like he's not trying to be like the Logan Paul. I'm just documenting what's going on as Gannon Burr. So
yeah, I'm not combating that at all.
Yeah.
I think our advice is just to make that more interesting. Like, we're not saying me, Mr. Beast or Logan Paul or anything.
No, I know.
And to cut you some slack.
I was just saying the personality for Gannon, like yeah, I'm not gonna be like Gannon, like get like be more excited in your recaps. He just shot 2 down and is like 12 back of the lead, or like 12.
That's not. Yeah, that's not. I think you're missing what I'm saying. Like that's not how you get it out of him. It's by the questions you're asking him, and it's like the way you guys are interacting with each other. Like I think there's a way for you, like. Connor from Foundation, if you watch Foundation at all, he was supposed to just be the cameraman until, like he started talking and like putting himself into the videos pretty much by chatting from behind the camera. Like, I think that's a major way that you could, spice up these videos by being Ben the cameraman who cracks a joke from time to time and like makes Gannon feel more comfortable while you're just sitting there recording him, and then to cut you some slack, like Gannon hasn't been doing this, like I think the cornerstone in this situation right now is Simon. Like that's what people are probably comparing these vlogs to because that's what they expect from a pro. And Simon's been doing it for freaking 7 years. He knows how to talk to a camera. He knows what works algorithmically. He knows what he wants in these videos, and he's just having fun. Like Gannon seems a bit like it feels like he's not fully comfortable behind the camera yet.
He's not thinking about it for the content. He's just thinking about it just as just Gannon. He's not thinking like, oh, I gotta be more uppity to engage viewers.
Yeah,
that's what I meant by like Mr. Beast. Like that's what I meant. I wasn't trying to say like we're gonna do last one to touch the disc golf basket. I just meant like as of right now, he's not like trying to think of the content in the sense of just like oh, I gotta be more enthusiastic for the views. And that's something maybe we gotta work on, like you said.
Well, I don't even mean like I don't want him to force it or anything.
That's what I don't really understand. That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's what I'm not understanding. Maybe
I don't know. Like from what you filmed of Gannon, does it seem like he's being himself? Like it seems like he's being part of himself, but I don't know. I guess I don't know him.
Yeah, he does have this completely other side to him, but that's more of the daily life of him just hanging out with buddies. His professional side is very serious. Like he's very matter of fact. That's who he is. He's like once he's on the course, he's trying to win. He's not trying to be silly. But that's what I'm trying to say. It's like hard to highlight that side of his personality when it's him playing. I think that will come more in the practice round when there's less pressure and he's more just having fun, enjoying with his buds rather than trying to win a major.
Yeah, and I'm not combating that. I'm just saying, like you're saying, it seems like he has this whole other side of him. So in his round recap, it feels like that's being hidden, So like in his round recap, like he's not competing in that moment. Like maybe he's still in that professional mindset, and maybe he needs to be in that mindset when he's talking about his round. But if there's a way to pull out that other side of him just while he's talking to the camera, that would up it, in my opinion, a lot more and make Gannon feel like more of a down-to-earth, like fun, awesome guy he seems to be in the few interactions I've had with him,
Yeah. I guess that just comes with him being more comfortable on camera. I don't know. It's just like one of those things I'm just documenting him like who he is at the moment. I'm not like trying to like get him to it's just like I'm documenting how he feels at the moment. But I do understand what you're saying.
This isn't us like trying to come after you.
No, I know.
It definitely comes from a good place, and like Josh said, we'll give you some grace because it's basically you juggling these tasks and figuring it out as you go. I think the videos just
you guys are thinking of it as like content creators, which I understand, which makes sense. But it's just like when, like you were saying, when you haven't been a content creator ever, it's a new thing for him.
No, you're doing a good job. I just think what Josh and I are trying to convey is that the videos have not yet found their personality yet. So I think as a viewer, we're not entirely sure what the overall feeling of the video is. We just see, I think like what Josh said, like you think Ganon and you're like, oh, dude, behind the scenes, Ganon's about to be crazy. And I think it's okay that it's more serious. It's just, like I said, just trying to figure it out. I mean, whatever way that we can add personality to it, aside from shots and just him empirically sharing how he shot.
But that's the thing. Like, we have a bunch of comments on that video of people saying this is exactly what I want. So I think there's just
that's cool.
two sides of every coin. Like, you guys want more personality. People rather just have his analytical opinion of how he played his round. That's kind of why I'm saying it's just kind of tricky. It's like, you know, but we are figuring it out. We're going to figure out even more. But like when I watch the videos, I'm like sick. I get to watch a brief 18 of all of Ganon's rounds. So that's my thinking. I'm not thinking like, oh, I want Ganon to like be silly here. Like if I was watching it as a fan, unbiased. But
is that what your mission statement kind of is? Like doing those videos, it was kind of trying to show like for someone that didn't follow the entire weekend, kind of like an abridged version of all 4 rounds. Is that kind of what you're like?
That's the goal. That was the goal, to show people what happened in Ganon's life, the number 1 player in the world that weekend, why he didn't win. That's the goal in a more behind the scenes way. Like I think, like I said, I think the practice rounds are where his personality will shine. But even today, when we recorded De La Viega, there was no discourse. It's just shots. Sometimes people just like just shots. That's kind of like more my style. I like shots. Maybe we have him commentate over the round, but it's just like certain scenarios I can't mic him up and have him like, you know, talk. And pretty much
I hear you.
It's just like the practice round. That's where, and on the other videos we're gonna do, like he has a collection video. Maybe you just wait till you watch the collection video that we're about to release, because he has more jokes and puns and is more silly, goofy guy there. I think it's just 2 different videos. I think one's just it is what it is, and one's like when he's more comfortable in his house. So I think it's just, you know, just there's different types of videos. There's gonna be one vibe in one and a vibe in another.
Obviously, we're probably biased towards like what we enjoy in certain videos, but I mean, on the flip side, like you said, if there are people in the comments, like if that is your vision or like your combined vision, you and Ganon, and there are people in the comments saying that they like that, I mean, don't listen to what we're saying. I mean, take what we're saying with a grain of salt and just like run with it.
That's what I'm saying. No, I am 100% listening, and I do agree with you guys. I'm just saying, like, I think you just need to give me a month. I think those first 2 videos aren't meant to showcase Ganon's personality. They're more meant to showcase recap of his round that you wouldn't have seen if I wasn't out there. Other than like President's Cup, like the first 2 minutes where I was like kind of recording behind the scenes where he's kind of being silly, but that's all I could get, because that's all President's Cup was. It's like you showed up, like got on your jersey for 30 minutes and played. There was no chance to really get that kind of camaraderie type thing. So yeah, give me a month, and then there'll be a few videos where he will showcase his personality, like in the collection video, and stuff like that.
Yeah, like we also have a podcast, so I'm sure we're being extra critical of you for something that isn't necessarily like you're doing a good job, Ben. You'll get where you need to be. Yeah,
thank you. I understand I'm not the best videographer. I'm not the best editor. The reason that separates me apart and why I have this job is because I'm willing to do it. Like I'm out here. I'm in an RV. I paid a lot of money to upgrade it. That's why I'm able to do it. It's not because I'm the best at this, the best at that. I've never claimed that. I'm not claiming that I know it all and I'm the best editor in video. I'm learning as I go. The reason I have this job is because he's my friend and I was the one willing to do it when probably 99% of people, you know, wouldn't uproot their life just to follow a 19-year-old kid on their on the tour. So I'm just saying that to be like, I am learning. I'm not like stuck like this is how it's done. I am learning, and I will continue to get better. And I think our just focus is just getting consistent content out there. Even if like today, the De La Viega vlog, it's him playing. It's him and Gavin playing. It's going to be quick, maybe 12, 13 minutes of them playing. It's not going to be anything extracurricular. But hey, we got content out of Gannon's life. That's the goal at the end of the day.
I don't know how much leeway you have, but you should edit it and have him commentate over it. Like if it's only if it's only a 12-minute video, that's 12 minutes of his time, you know? Hey, Gannon, here's a 12-minute video of you playing that tournament, or Gannon and Gavin.
No, so as we were talking and I said maybe to spice it up, he can commentate. I think for the De La Viega, I think that makes sense. I think it does. If he's available. Like I said, I'm not with him. But I think it makes sense because it would spice it up a little more, where right now it's just them shooting shots, which, like I said, people enjoy. I enjoy, but I do think people enjoy shots with commentary as well, even more. I mean, that's why you have DGN with the commentators.
Yeah, my argument is there's going to be a lot of people that enjoy just the shots, but you will also still capture that audience if you add commentary, because no one in that audience is going to be upset about Gannon talking about his shots, and then you capture that audience and then even more people, in my opinion.
I agree.
You capture the people.
I'm with you 100%. Like, I would rather watch a tournament with commentary. It's the same shots. It's just an extra elevated thing where it adds. So yeah, I think see, advice like that was good. It's good because I'm realizing like we should do commentary on this because it'll be quick. He just needs to talk for 12 minutes, but it'll add so much more depth to the video, especially if him and Gavin are able to do it. So
yeah, like Sajko said, Ben, you're doing a great job. We're your support system, Ben. So we're trying to help you out, homie.
Thank you.
We want to see Gannon Burr YouTube to the moon.
I appreciate that. But sometimes maybe it's better just through text, not broadcasted to thousands of people.
Isn't that what Funsie's all about, dude?
Yeah, I think that was good. I think it was us just like being able to analyze it on the spot.
I think we met in the middle. I think we both realized had some common ground where it's like, yes. What were you saying, Sajko? Sorry.
Hey, that was about the end of it. Guys, I'm pretty sure, clean transition. I'm pretty sure Dynamic Discs is listening to us. Because just last week, we were talking about...
Oh, wait. Sorry.
Just last week, we were talking about Dynamic and how they're trying to, or at least what it feels like, they're trying to appeal more to nostalgia, because at one point Dynamic did a great job with that and had like a lot of these things going for them. This past
same. Yes. That's what I was going with.
Also follow the podcast, and then also announced that he's with Dynamic again. Coincidence? Obviously not.
He definitely listened to the Jay Millie podcast. That's for sure. I can confirm that. And if you're listening now, hello. But he did follow me as well. That's where I thought you were going with it, and you were going with that. So he definitely listened to the Jay Millie. So Jay Millie made a change, maybe.
Well, okay. So I don't know. I don't know how much of this I can say, but when I was out there, he was out there already. So, like, this has been in works for a little while. I will say, I think that, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they had listened to the episode. Obviously, I think we used their name in the title, right?
Yeah,
Or
I
no?
just said what Jamie Lee would do as CEO of Dynamic
Yeah,
Discs.
so wouldn't be surprised if they saw that or not. I know that the conversations I had with Eric McCabe were very similar to kind of what we talked about on the podcast. Obviously, I kind of walked us through what I said to him. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they listened, but I also think that it seems like Eric is either the one kind of spearheading some of this new stuff, or at least in the room with the people that are making those decisions. And so I think they're
he's in the room.
doing a lot of good stuff. So, okay, sorry. For those listening, I think we talked about Bobby Brown, who is now back with Dynamic. He used to kind of be a figurehead for Dynamic, and then a few years ago, he quit and went and worked at Shields, and everyone was really sad about it. And it's kind of around the time when Dynamic and I don't know, honestly, the brand went a little bit downhill, and now he's back. Everyone's super excited, and he followed us and the podcast and all that. And also, I liked the little post he had. I don't know if you guys saw his posts. It was like some quote or something like that. It was like, no, it was something about how it said something about like the brand doesn't need a reset. It just needs a realignment or something like that. Or
Sometimes
like,
you just got to go back to the story you were originally creating. That's what it was.
We're kind of butchering it, but I think you guys are getting the point. And I thought that was pretty fire. I talked about it last week, like listening to Eric talk about the grassroots that Dynamic has. And honestly, a lot of the stuff that they were still doing and just not really talking about or showing helped me put in perspective like all the good that Dynamic's doing that's kind of getting overshadowed by the negative image that they for some reason have. And so I completely agree with what he was saying, where it's like they don't need a complete reset, like kind of maybe what we're talking about. It just needs to be realigned, and they need to get back in step with the community that they once had and want to steward moving forward. So I don't know. I wasn't really around for Bobby's original tenure with Dynamic.
Me neither.
But I'm looking forward to seeing what changes he makes for their YouTube or Instagram or whatever he's gonna be in charge of.
He's the
and
brand
I'm really
manager.
hopeful.
Yeah, like media and marketing, it seems like.
Yeah,
which is cool.
I received 3 prototypes from them actually this week, so seems like they're gonna be starting to send out some discs.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. No, I think of all the things that they can be doing right now, it seems like they're making all the right steps. So yeah, kudos to them, because we are just, like talk is cheap, and we're just out here just being like, yeah, you should do this, this, and this, and like we're just 3 dudes on a podcast, but like they're out there and they're doing it and they're making changes and people are noticing, and they're cool ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool because they could just be like, yeah, I don't care, whatever. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing.
They care about the company. That's a good sign.
They care about the company. Guys, I made a post this past week. It has somehow been 1 year since I started working at Another Round, which feels kind of insane to even say, because pretty much every listener that's been on here has listened to that entire journey, almost for an entire year, but almost every week is what I'm trying to say. I don't even know what to really talk about it, because like I said, you guys have already heard my experience through like the last year, but at least to acknowledge that much time has passed is unreal. And like to think of the number of times that I've posted for them, like we're coming up on 90K followers, that's
wild.
It just feels so crazy. Was I there for all those? Obviously not, but
you were there for
Probably like
90% of
50.
them. I don't really know.
I don't.
I would
even
guess
know
that they
what
were at like 40 or 45 when you started. So
I don't think so. They were probably at like 60 something. I think.
That seems like the
You've seen a lot.
number, 60 something.
you've seen a lot.
Yeah, a lot of learning. So like obviously Josh is like YouTube boy, and like Ben is asking for advice, and we're just giving him stuff. Sure, I'll give like my 2 cents, but that's definitely like Josh's forte to like provide info. At least for like shorts and doing all those things, I've definitely through the another round lens, I guess let's say, I definitely have figured out, quote unquote, the formula, I guess, of just like
You
what I
figured
like.
out your form.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Well, that's what I'm trying to say, I guess, is just like figured out what I like, and how to like portray the brand. And yeah, I don't, like I said, I'm not really entirely sure where to go with this, but it felt like I should.
Congratulations. It's like, it's the first step of many for you.
Yeah. It felt like something that I should probably share on the podcast, considering that's my job.
Well, I feel like Funsie, something that people don't know, feel like Funsie was such an integral part of you getting that job, because we had Joseph as our like second or third interview, and you were editing. This is when you were editing for us shorts, like, and posting a lot. And like I remember me saying like, hey, if you ever need like another editor, Sajko's your guy on the on that podcast. Now I'm not sure like how directly correlated it was, but at least like hopefully that like kind of like put something in his ear where it's like, because you had the proof of concept on the Funsie channel of editing something that's not you, if that makes sense, where like that's probably what he's looking for. He's looking for an editor of something where he can make something better that's not specifically you. And I think it's kind of cool to see that journey of just like how like opportunities and stuff that you don't like, how they all play into each other, how you don't realize one thing leads to another. You didn't realize like starting Funsie could have led to this like can of worms. Like, it's just like one of those things where it's just like you don't really know until you try.
Yeah, just a bunch of like right place, right time, and make sure that you're prepared enough to be
right place, right time, and prepared.
Yeah, to be at those. Perfect. Yeah. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast before, so let me know if I did. But first of all, let's shout out Andrew Manganelli, like we do basically on a weekly schedule, because that dude does so much for disc golf, and maybe like the typical disc golfer isn't aware of him, but in terms of like media and content creators, he's just doing this strictly from the goodness of his heart.
Yeah, he loves disc
so
golf.
I feel like I partially owe him for my position with another round, because just prior to Joe coming on our podcast, I think Andrew, like, he loved watching their YouTube channel, Another Round's YouTube channel. He liked how chill it was, and he would just like put it on in the background, and him and his wife would just do whatever they're doing. And I think he had like a meeting with them, and he was just like, yeah, maybe you should like look into getting like an editor or something like that. So I feel like that could also be a huge part of just like all these weird synergistic things. That
it all worked together where it's like, now that's on Joe's mind, and it's like, oh wait, here's an editor. So I don't know. It's just we've all said those stories of how like me being an intern on Staggered Stance, that is like such like that is like 10% of what I do now, but at the time that was everything. And it's crazy what led from there, everything I do now, from just being an intern on Staggered Stance.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to call it a stepping stone, because it feels huge for me, and I, hopefully it just like becomes like my full-time like day job, but it's definitely led to like other cool things in my life that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
I was about to say, like, I'm so curious, like working for Another Round full-time, like, is amazing, and it's a dream, but I'm so curious, like, what the next thing for you is. And I'm not saying like leaving Another Round. I mean, like, what's gonna be Sajko's next big thing, and I'm so excited to kind of just like follow along that journey of, because like now you're starting to be the head guy, one of the head guys at around, at least media wise. So I'm excited to see like, now that that's old news, what is like the next big thing where it's like, this is sick, Sajko. Like, it's just an exciting thing to be a part of and kind of just like follow along all of our journeys. Like, what's the next big thing?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It does feel weird for like me to be the one that brings up my own accomplishment, just because I typically am like the moderator. I find myself to be the moderator of the show, so I'm like, I have my list, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm about to bring this up, and I look like a clown.
It's part of your job, so yeah, no one should think anything because it's literally part of your job.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I was just gonna mention, I feel like for day one listeners and even people now, like, you're essentially listening to us finding our way into disc golf full time. Like, that's all of our goals. I mean, Ben's obviously been doing that for forever now, pretty much. But Sajko and I both have day jobs and have had day jobs for the entirety of Funsie. And as time has gone on, like, Sajko has taken on a bigger role at another round. My YouTube has obviously grown to over 100K. Like, you guys are witnessing us pursue our dreams and, you know, get closer to being able to do it full time. And, you know, by listening and support, you're helping us do that as well. And it's not something that we recognize, and we forward very grateful. And so I just felt like, I don't know, like, we appreciate you guys. You guys are part of our community, and you're the whole reason that we make this show and are making disc golf content in the first place.
And subscribe so we can get monetized.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's just important to remind yourself of that, where you're like, oh yeah, like, people care. Oh, they do care. That's sick. We also might be like, hold on, let me check the Funsie Instagram. I'm sure this is really good. We reached 500 followers.
Wow.
Kind of low key huge.
Now we need
That's
500
crazy.
subscribers for monetization. No, that is pretty good.
No, it's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, thank you.
So you said that you posted your recap on Instagram. What for the listener? What's your favorite video you made for another round over the last year?
Dude, such a good question. It's funny when you listen to other podcasts where people will ask someone this question. They're like, ooh, yeah, what do you got? And every time, every person's like, oh, man, like, I don't even know what to say.
They're all so good.
No, I promise they're not. Something that I thought could be like a cool video, let me derail that real quick, would be to go through like some of the Another Round videos, and people decide if it's like a Joe video or a Nathan video. Because
that would be fun.
I think that'd be funny. And I have like a couple dead giveaways that I would know.
Anime.
Yeah. I also think I could know as well.
But
maybe
I think
it could be
surprised
me.
by a couple. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised.
Maybe. I also think it could be fun for you guys or someone to go through and be like, don't show them how many views the video got and be like, okay, did this one go viral or did this one flop? And just like go one by one. And then like, it could be fun to do like a man on the street thing.
Yeah.
And
no,
like,
I love that.
Do it at like a disc golf tournament and be like, hey, we posted this to our account. Did this go viral or did this flop? And then like show them that, and that could be a whole video, you know? Or like you said, did Joseph make this or did me make this? And then that could be the whole video. I think those are great ideas. You should definitely do that. I'd watch that intently.
Dude, let's do it. I don't know, further derailment. I don't know if you have like useless info that you're like really good at now, but just doesn't do anything for anyone. Like, are you able to look at a reel and be like, this has this many views, and then you check it and you're like, gosh, I'm so good?
No, I feel like I'm not. I'm not as good at it as you guys probably are, because I have a certain
Oh,
style. You
my
know.
brain is forever cooked. I
I've
mean,
Yeah.
never
permanently.
done that in my life.
Well, that's
I
what I
mean,
mean.
I
Like
I can kind of
it's
guess like a
useless.
viral video, but not really.
Yeah, it's useless. I'm not saying like ahead of time you know what it's gonna get. It's just like, okay, what do I think it's a? It's just dumb. Yeah. Anyways,
Uh-huh.
favorite video. It probably goes towards the ones that show really feel like they're helping people. So the first things that come to mind are store openings. So I think back to like the Nashville store opening. Um, I don't know if it's the best video that I've ever done for them, but
Yeah.
to show off just like no one would know what it's like except for the like 100 people that were there in that moment. So to be able to show just the support that was happening for like, I imagine it's terrifying to open a brick and mortar store.
Yeah.
Especially
Not even just
in
disc
disc
golf, but like
golf today,
modern
yeah.
day, just modern day,
Modern day too, in
our
general,
world. Um, so to do anything to like make them feel like they made the right decision and show something off and just get them like going in the right direction, and at least in terms of media, so people can see like, oh, this is a real thing and it's cool, and um, it seems successful, or like it is successful, or I think those are, I guess from that perspective, that's my favorite. Um, the best video, because I guess I'm not like officially, but low key, I guess I'm like the personal editor for Austin Turner at this point.
Yeah.
I think the most viral video I've ever done was, and Kiara helped me with it. It was the one where it was something like, oh my gosh, dude, I'm butchering it. Where it's like, send this to someone, whatever, or if you got sent this and it was like you're a cutie, but like written out and like you can see it getting written out, which took
Like a
forever to
follow
make.
flight.
Kinda, it wasn't like an actual follow flight. It was like actually written out, and I like put it over. Dude, that's like 20 million views or something, just
Holy cow.
Wow.
ridiculous. So I
Did
guess
not know
for
that.
for that reason, that was I guess
that
like
reason
another
alone.
favorite.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
So yeah, I appreciate everyone that's been following along for the last year. It's cool, and it's fun to make, and to have a job that rewards creativity. I think a lot of people will go through life and not ever experience that or even know what that's like. So yeah, I'm grateful to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm yeah. We can wrap up in a second, but I'll say this. To anyone listening that wants to create, I wanted to make YouTube videos for forever because it was just something I was interested in. And until I started making YouTube videos, I didn't realize how fulfilling it is to actually create something rather than just consume, you know? Like, our society is so built around consumer culture nowadays, and there is a rush of like dopamine from doom scrolling or buying something new or, consuming in some way. But the rush of dopamine that you get from creating something is infinitely larger and much more sustainable in the amount you receive. And so I just encourage you to create in some form or fashion, whatever passion you have. If it is disc golf content, go out there and do it. I think as humans, we are meant to create. And so it is something that I think you guys should do. So that's
Yes.
my super motivational tip of the evening. There you go.
I think that's great. I think a lot of people might be struggling to find fulfillment in certain things, and I think, like you're saying, Josh, creating can hopefully help fill that for a lot of people. And it doesn't even have to be something that like a community or people on social media see. It could just be straight
totally.
up. You're like, oh, I have a garden, and that like brings me joy to like grow my own vegetables and make
100%.
food with it, or little things like that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
So
content.
yeah, if you're not creating, you're a loser, basically.
Yeah, you're kind of the scum of the earth.
100%.
Yeah, just you're just the cog, man. All right, let's wrap it up. Well, sorry, Josh. I guess, did you have anything that you would you would like to share this week? Otherwise, we can next week.
No, I tried to film a video this weekend and I'm scrapping it. It was horrible.
What? All right.
Yeah.
We'll tune in next week when we talk about that because I have several questions automatically, but we'd be here for the next hour additionally.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning into Funsie Podcast and listening to Ben's dog in the background. I'm playing.
Yeah.
No, your
If
dog
you
was very
see
good.
me, I'm looking left and right, dude, because she's a chewer, and I'm like, bro, she better not be chewing. She's chewing on my shoes, my vesties,
Shout out.
my sofa, my socks. So I just keep looking because she's been on a tirade. So I just need to make sure she's not
Oh
chewing.
no.
All's good.
Makes
No,
sense.
I could tell that you were anxious. Thank you, everyone, for listening tonight or this morning, whatever it is for us tonight.
We love
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Love you
appreciate you
guys.
guys. Until next time.
Shout out Brian
next time.
Hargrave. See you.